Okay. So we talked about the purpose a little bit, and it is to organize your research. Please write as many notes as you can down. Else I'll try to put up a YouTube video or something on Blackboard of this entire session. Hopefully it's capturing my voice too, so that way you guys can understand what I'm saying. Okay, so we're going to go over two tools today. The first tool is called Mendeley, and the second tool is called Zotero. We're going to talk about Mendeley first. Both of them have their pros and their cons, so you're going to decide which one is for you or if both of them are for you. Personally, I use Zotero, but there's some things in Mendeley that I miss from Zotero. You'll see, I'll talk about both of them. So the first thing that you do is you go to mendeley.com and create an account. So let's do that. So new window. So, of course, I already have an account, so I'm going to try to log myself out. But when you go to mendeley.com, you're going to see a blank page that's going to ask you to create an account. It's going to look exactly like this, right? So the first thing that you do is create a free account. Please, if you guys can be working while we're talking, so that way you can kind of get your computer all set up. So when you say create a free account, all it is really is for you to enter your email address and enter a password, your first name and your last name. You don't have to really like put all your life details into it. All right. The next step after you create an account is to download and install the software on your desktop. So I think that there is a version for Mac. I'm pretty positive. So you download it, and there are other versions. There's for Mac OS X, and there's for Linux as well, depending on what you want. And there are apps. So that's another positive for Mendeley. They have apps on the iPhone and the iTouch, but generally you're not going to be writing papers on your iPhone. Yes, Dana. Yes, that's why I sent an email yesterday for you to bring your laptops here.
Right, yeah, no, I have it, but I'm just like wondering if it's going to be a problem for Mac.
No, because Mac said you have a version of Mac too.
Okay.
Yeah, so just try to ignore, except you don't have a computer here today, alright? Do it on your personal machine, so that way you don't have to do this all over again.
But it's not going to matter.
It doesn't matter yet.
Okay.
So if you guys have done that, download the version onto your computer and install it. Has everyone finished downloading? Who's still downloading? Is it slow or fast? Okay. So is everyone still, so you have downloaded and installed it? You have downloaded and installed, right? Okay. And you're still waiting. Are you done? You're done, and I see the thing working. Oh,
That's different.
okay, well, when you're done installing, it should look, when you open Mendeley, it should look something like that. It should ask you to log in. Oh, crap. All right. You should ask you to log in. Log in with your email address and password that you just set up. Then it should look something like this, but except it's going to be blank. You're not going to see any papers at all. No, no, you should be in the desktop application. So if you're not there, no, but yeah, you should be doing everything on your desktop. So let's see, how do you Dana, how do you do it? Come. Yeah. Get it for you.
Oh, I can get it.
Okay, you guys all logged in now. Okay. Okay, so once you log in, that's PowerPoint. You have to install the web importer tool as well. So you go to this link right here, and you should be able to get the web importer tool from the website. Did you bring your laptop? Okay, you should bring that out right now. So right here at the bottom, since you don't have my slides at the bottom, is used in the website is install web importer. Click on that, and that is just simply a button right here. That's all it is. Right? You guys see this? Save to Mendeley. You're going to drag it and drop it on your bookmarks list. I'll just put it here. That's all it is.
So when you like import your existing library, what you do?
Just skip at the bottom left, bottom right. At the very bottom, you just see a button called skip.
Popular pages and keep
Skip it, yeah. Has everyone added the web importer tool? Hands if you have. Salawa, you stuck. I'm sorry?
I can add the web code.
Just drag it. Yeah, just drag the button.
Wow.
On the right.
Thank you.
Right here. This? Yeah, drag this. Hold it. No, here. This button right here. Then drag it, hold it down, and hold it here. Bookmark. Hold on. Hold it up here. You have a bookmark toolbar? Let's see a bookmark toolbar. So now we've done that. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to install the Microsoft Word plugin. So go to Mendeley in your app, go to Tools, and install MS Word plugin. I already have it installed, so mine says on install. What does it say? Do you have Microsoft Word in your computer?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
If you don't have a put your own version, this is not Microsoft Word. Okay, so I will always stop there. You need Microsoft Word.
Okay, I'll get it right there.
Thank you.
You install it?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright, has everyone installed the plugin on Microsoft Word plugin? Okay. Now that you have done that, now I'll tell you how to add your references to Mendeley. Right? So you've set up this piece of software. Now you need to find out how do I add all the references that I have. Because the way you do it is you add your references to Mendeley and then have it automatically put it in Word when you're writing your papers. Alright? So the first way to add a document, you can add documents from the web, which if you do your research, like if you get papers from like Google Scholar or something, so this is Google Scholar, right? So let's say you do education in the United States. All right, let's say that's your search. Let's say that's what you're doing research on. You can just see a list of things, right? This is just a basic list of things that you get. If you do save to Mendeley, Mendeley is going to search that page and see everything that it can add to, of course, sign in, and see everything that it can add to your library, right? So first of all, before you start doing anything, when you want to, let's say, work on a paper, I would first of all add a folder. So my library do add a folder. Let's say IS 295, right? For whatever paper, final paper. All right. Then click on here. Just create a folder from here. So that way when we add new things, we can put it there. Is that clear enough?
Yeah.
Where are you lost? Okay. So now you see all the things. Now this also has a PDF. So if we just do a plus here, you just keep adding whatever you want to add to your library. And Mendeley, you will see there's a section called unsorted. Mendeley will add everything that you just clicked into this place. If it hasn't appeared yet, just hit sync. And that should fix it. Do you guys see that? Those are the things I just added to the library right now. It's unsorted currently, right? Now, if I just take them, you can now move them to whatever folder that you want to move them. So let's say I move them here for this paper. I can just put them now on this paper. IS 295, and it's there right now. Is this clear so far? Okay. That's yes, Dana.
So, okay. I'm so sorry. I'm really confident with that. But, so I have like the actual application here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess I'm logged in my internet browser.
Yes.
If I, so I just click down.
So go to Google Scholar and type anything. Like Google scholar.google.com. This will work for any public documents database, like PubMed and all those things that you have, like professional papers or like scholarly papers written. Unlike Zotero, which would work for anything, which we'll talk about later today. So when you go to your website, let's say you search for something in Google Scholar, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you do is hit that Save to Mendeley button that you just added to your bookmarks toolbar. Did you add it to your bookmarks toolbar? You found?
Well, I'm like here, but, so it will say everything that I searched on Citation?
No, see, that's it's only everything that can be added to Mendeley on this page. It's up to you now if you want to add them. Desktop software onto the unsorted.
Okay, and then I download it.
Yeah. All right. So that's one way to add papers. Either you do it through like Google Scholar or anything like let's say Journal of HCI Journal. Let's see, M oh, HCI Journal. Another example, let's say you have your paper sitting in a public journal, like somewhere like here, Taylor Francis, Human Computer Interaction. Is this my journal? Recently published articles. I'm just looking for a paper, it doesn't matter what it is. Save to Mendeley. Mendeley can dig into whatever public page or public database, paper database that you have, find what's there and give you the option of saving it to your dex, to your this thing. So that's that, right?
So the purpose of this is to
Gather your research.
not necessarily cite.
We haven't gotten to the citing part yet.
Okay.
We're trying to get all the information that we're going to cite first. But the first thing is add everything that you want to cite into your Mendeley library. So now we have 3 things that we can potentially cite, right? That's one way, that's one way to add it to Mendeley. Another way you can add it is if you already have a paper that is formatted properly. So let's say you have a PDF, and I downloaded one yesterday. So let's say delete. You have a PDF on your computer that is the paper that you want to cite, right? All you do is just drag it, pick it up and drag it into Mendeley. And you see how it extracted all the information from the paper, the author's name, everything, a title, and put it there. Right? So it does that. And another thing that you can do is you can add a document manually, which is just the same thing as going down, add a file that exists on your computer. Okay. So we've already added all the information that we need. Now we want to go and cite our papers, right? In Microsoft Word. So you're going to go to Word. This is a blank page, right? This is citation number 1. You're going to go to References. If you installed it properly, it's going to be in your References tab. You're going to go to references, and you're going to do insert citation under Mendeley Cytomatic. If you hit insert citation, you're going to see this thing pop up, right? This thing is just going to pop up. You're going to type anything about the paper title, the author, anything you know about the paper. I happen to know who one of the paper, so as soon as I start typing, you see how this pops up. Let's say this is what I want to cite. Watching together, integrating chat and video. Okay. You see how you just put it there? You just already cited it. Now, and it all depends on how you want your citations to look. Different papers want you to cite like APA style. They want you to cite like SIGCHI. The conference that my field actually happens to use something called SIGCHI, a formatting way. So you can go from APA. This is APA, but I like SIGCHI. If the style that you want to cite is not there, you can install more if you like. But APA is the most common one that you guys will use in college, right? So let's just leave it as that. Then this is citation number 2. Number 3, or whatever, number 2. And then you're going to say insert citation. Let me start typing again. All right. Do you see that? How do I add my references? I'm just going to go under here, insert bibliography, and bam. I'm sorry? It's right there, right next to insert citation. That button right there. Do you guys see how I just made citations super easy? Oh, you don't have to worry about the organizing your citation, copying and pasting. Another problem is, like, for example, in my field, we cite things within the paper as numbers and not as like this 2000 and thing, but it only does it alphabetically. So imagine if you change your citation and you have like 50 citations in your paper, you number them. No. In Chicago, no, it's not Chicago. The Chicago style has that same numbering thing as well. But for my HCI papers, you have to number them because it does it alphabetically, right? So for number 1, let's say this is citation number 1, and I have 50 of them. If I change my mind about one, let's say I don't want to use one anymore, guess what? I have to go back and renumber the entire paper. Do you see how that is such a waste of time? But with this, an automatic citation manager will do all those things for you automatically. I never have to worry about the organization or anything, or typing out the references, none of that. It's going to format it and format it perfectly every single time. Do you guys see? So the only work that you have to do is add your papers to the citation manager, to Mendeley, right? And everything else is taken care of, which is a heck of a lot easier than trying to do it manually.
So, because I don't have the references tab in my desktop.
Okay,
So on Mendeley,
you
I do
where you want to be? You don't look at the website.
see, like on my here, okay, it says insert bibliography, but I didn't have.
Okay, so so that's all you have to do then, because it gives you something up here. So this is citation number. I'm sorry, I'm so spoiled by your citation. Insert citation. So let's see this. Did you add anything to your library? What did you add? Okay, a comprehensive grammar English learner, right? Here's one. There we go. You don't even have to remember the name. See, I just. Was everyone able to cite anything properly on your document? Do you guys see how easy that was? What about insert the bibliography. Do you guys see how easy that works? And the more your citations, the more grateful you are to do this kind of thing every single day. Just get rid
And
of
then once it pops up, then
yeah, and just put it there, and then instead of bibliography, you just take everything that you have done. Because in Google.com. Okay, so is that clear? I'll tell you other features of Zotero that also make it really great. Right? Not Zotero. I keep saying Zotero. I'm sorry. Zotero is the one I prefer. That's why I keep saying it. But Mendeley. All right? Other features of Mendeley, in addition to citation, you can double click on the paper and it's going to open the paper in the next tab right there. Right? Now what you can do is you can kind of highlight things that you want. You can take notes on certain parts of the paper if you want. This is sample notes. So you can do all these things, and it's just going to be stored within there. You can add notes to it and add all these things, and you can share it. If you're working on a term paper, right? You can, instead of creating a folder, you can create under your groups. You can create a folder under your groups. So let's say folder IS. No. Oh, I don't need this. A folder. Yes. Groups. New group. So create a group, right? If you're working like on a term paper with people, you can say IS 295, and please pay special attention to this because you're going to do this for your homework. Your homework, you're going to create a group, add papers to it, and add me to the group. So that's how I know that you did it. All right? So you're going to create a group, invite only, create a group, right? Ugh, team plan, really? To get okay, make it an open group then. Doesn't matter. Invite people. Let's add whoever. Add me or skip. The same thing that you do with a group, you can do it with papers, right? You just add papers normally, and then members. This is when you can invite people, and now you guys can collaboratively add papers. So let's say you guys are supposed to read 5 papers together. She can see all your notes that you have done on all the notes that you put here. She can now see all these notes on everything, so you guys can kind of plan your reading together. You guys see how that is helpful?
So you say we should select open group?
Yeah, select an open group so that way to let you do that for free. The members are going to be right here. So here, the members are going to be at this tab here. Yeah, so if you want to create a new group, right click on group and new group here. Don't do invite only, do open group. Yeah, because invite only is going to make you want to pay for something. I don't want you guys to pay for anything. It doesn't matter. Name it whatever as long as you invite me.
What about the description? Does it need it?
Nope. If you feel like it, but as long as you have a name. So yeah, so you can annotate things, which is really helpful within the application. Another thing that you can do is search. For example, you see how I have the word parallel here, right? So normally if you're searching, it searches for like file names, but you can actually search for like things. It doesn't only search the file name, it searches within the file. So if I'm going to say the word parallel, do you guys see how we found all the documents that have the word parallel in it? And if I click on it, it's going to take me directly there. So that's another really useful function for it because it searches beautifully. My last name is UCHIDIUNO. But you should invite my email address, JODILI1. And we'll talk about it later in the homework. Alright? JODILI number 1 at UMBC. Okay. So let's see. So we did all this. So we talked about annotating documents, sharing documents, groups, and blah. Create citations. I showed you how to do this one. Select the style, add the citation, and add the bibliography. This is clear enough, right? Okay. So what are the benefits of Mendeley? PDF annotation, I showed you that. Sharing and group collaboration. Oh, finding related documents. So you know how your professor tells you, I want you to cite 12,000 things and you only have 5? Does that happen to anyone? Clear. So let's say you have a paper. An easy way to find out other papers that may be related to that paper is just hit this related button right here. And to go and search the interwebs, and it'll pull up everything that it thinks that is related to that. Which is a really beautiful thing to have when you're stumped on related research. Right? Let's see. Find related documents, advanced search, and automatic renaming of files. Did you guys notice that when I dragged that P whatever file name from my computer, it automatically renamed it properly based on the file name? Did you guys notice that? Okay, I'll do it again. I have this file P877 Weiss. Just by dragging it to my Mendeley folder, so let's say this group right here. All I did was drag it, and it just searched within the file, pulled out the name, pulled out the authors, pulled out everything, and renamed it properly. So it does that automatically, which is another fancy feature. So we're going to go to Zotero, which is the one that I love with my heart. Yeah, when you write papers and do things as much as I do, you become very close and personal with your citation manager. Alright? So Zotero is, same thing, you create an account on zotero.org, you download and install the Firefox plugin. So I'm going to go through that slightly. You guys don't have to do this if you are comfortable with the way Mendeley works and you got that to work already. But I'll show you why I prefer this to Mendeley personally. So there you're going to register, which tells you your username and your password and your email and your blah blah blah, right? After you register, then you're going to download the Zotero software on your computer, just like you did for the Mendeley one. Does anybody want me to go through the whole thing like I went through with Mendeley? You guys can just kind of follow, right? You want to? Okay. So so that's Zotero. Let's say home. So you just at the front page you can download now. You have a version available for Mac, for Windows, and everything. There are two things that you want. First of all, you want the standalone version and you want the Firefox version. So you have to this works best as a browser add-on for Firefox and not for anything else. It works with Chrome, but it's not as fancy. Firefox is where it really shines. So you download this one for Windows, save file. I already have it on my computer, so I'm not going to do it. And then you download it and you open it. So once you download it, it's going to look like this. And you can see that I show this one a lot of love because, like, you see I have a bazillion papers on, right? Yeah. So yes, I use this a lot. It's gonna look like this. How do you log in? Immediately, it doesn't ask you to log in, it just lets you open it. But you want to log in with your username and password on the website, so that way, no matter the computer you have, right? You change computers, it's going to sync it up with that library that is online, so that way you always have the same papers and you don't have to redo the work every single time you get a new machine. So you want to go to Tools, Preferences, and Sync. It's going to let you log in with your username and password, the one that you just created online. Alright? Okay. So I will I'm going to share this part of the video in case I'm kind of flying through this part pretty fast. So I'll try to share this part in the video in case you guys want to use Zotero instead. Okay. So after you do that, now you want to add the Firefox browser extension. It allows you to do it in Chrome and Safari, but my best recommendation just for Safari's experience is in Firefox. So you add it to Firefox. When you add it to Firefox, it's going to look like, no, it's going to, you're not even going to see anything up here. That's the best part of it. Now the magic starts to happen when you go somewhere. So this same thing on Google Scholar that I searched, did you notice that there's a folder that just appeared here that wasn't there before? So Zotero actually appears on your address bar. If something, the Zotero can find anything on that web page that it can cite, it's going to put an icon on your address bar for you to see. So I see a folder here, which means that there are a bunch of things on this page that I can cite. All I have to do is just check it, and it's going to put it in whatever folder I'm clicked on. So let's just click on this random folder, right? On my browser, I'm just going to go here and select this one, this one, this one, and this one. These are 4 books, and it's going to put it there. Right? You just save that. What else can it do? This is where it beats Mendeley, hands down. Amazon.com. Let's click on let's see, Microsoft Office projects, right? What am I trying? I'm trying to find a book. It doesn't matter whatever book it is on Amazon. Oh, blah. This is a book, right? Just watch this place right here. Do you see how this appeared? It found a book. Click. And it's to save it to random. Or I go back. I have a bunch of books. You see you found a bunch of books here? Do you guys see how this icon is changing based on what's on the page? Click on that and it's going to tell me all the books I found. I can check all the ones that I want to add to my library. Oh, I'm not done. I can pretty much add anything. New York Times, because guess what? How many people actually write papers where everything is a professionally written paper in a journal? Sometimes you want to cite something that was just written on New York Times or in a newspaper, right? So the news.google.com. Zotero should find a bunch of things, and if you didn't, click on one of them specifically. Obama rejected something. You see you found something. I click. You just added it. And if you click on this on your Zotero, you see that it doesn't only add, so it also adds a snapshot, because you don't want to ever lose that. Things like articles on like websites, what it does, it takes a snapshot of it, so that way you capture it the way when you found it. So that way if that website ever goes away, you always have that content. So click on snapshot and it opens it, but now notice that this is file. See, this is my computer. This is a local file on my computer. It's not the website anymore. Zotero just captured a full version of that thing and kept it for me. Right? And it does it for everything, so it can be a newspaper. It can even be youtube.com. This is a video. Please don't put, no, I'm not doing anything on Glozell. If nobody knows who Glozell is. Let's see. All right, who is she? Karen Cabot. You guys, I've showed her to you guys here before. So let's do Karen for something that is But did you see how you saw that folder icon because of all the videos that popped up?
Hey guys, so it's been a while since
I'm gonna cite it. And you see how it picked it up here? Right here, new necklaces on blah. If you see the information, here, this is the abstract on YouTube. This is the URL. I accessed it on this day. And it gives me a snapshot. So that's why I like Zotero, because you can pretty much cite anything. And it's printed out properly. Now, let's go to the same thing in Word. Alright? Zotero adds it. So how do you put it on Word? You pretty much do tools. How do you add a Word extension? Add-ons, I think. No, that's not what it is. You do tools, and you do up, References. Oh yeah, so preferences on the site, you do install Microsoft Word add-in. It's installed on mine already, so that's why it says reinstall. For yours, it's gonna say install from scratch. Alright? It says reinstall on yours. If it says reinstall, then it probably just automatically did it. Now, how do you know Zotero is on your Microsoft Word? It's gonna be on your add-ins tab. It doesn't go under references. So here, if you mouse over, this first one is add citation, edit the citation, and the more you use it, you kind of get used to what the icons mean. So this is Zotero citation 1. Click on this, it pops open, it asks you what citation style do you want. Let's do APA because that's what most people know. And if your format doesn't exist, you can scroll all the way to the bottom, or it will let you add in the settings if you don't have it, just like it does it in Mendeley. Replace the Zotero field. Okay. All right. So this pops up, and now you can start typing. So let's say I'm looking for necklaces. Okay. So I found it. I cited it. Hold on. Enter. It found it, and because it doesn't like, it doesn't want to have 2 different citation managers on the same page, so it kind of like reformatted the one took out everything I did on Mendeley and put the Zotero that one there. So this is American whatever, but my format, you can edit it. So let's say you don't like. Let me delete this. This is Zotero citation 1. Necklaces. This is Zotero citation 2. Obama. Okay. References. This would just insert my bibliography right here. So I'm just gonna do this, and it just did that. So let's say your teacher decides to become like a pain in the behind and say, you know what, I told you to do APA, but now I really want Chicago style, right? Some teachers are just evil like that. Guess what you have to do? All you have to do is say, go to your document preferences, change the style, Chicago manual, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And bam, the entire document is changed. So this just takes away the pain of citations completely. All you have to do is add all your documents to either Zotero or Mendeley, and in your documents, just add it with the addition of the citation. So when you type whatever, when you want to cite it, add the citation, and everything else from your references just does everything else automatically for you. Is this useful? Okay.
Is there any way the instructor will get to know you used?
It doesn't matter. Instructors don't care as long as your citations are there. But this, so no, the question is there any way for instructors to know that you did this automatically? The question is no, and even if they do, it's not illegal. As long as you have your citations done properly, the instructor doesn't care how you did it. So this really takes away the pain of you trying to figure out how the hell do I cite this thing. You don't need to worry about that. All you need to do is find out the things that you want to cite, add it into Mendeley or Zotero, and everything else is taken care of. Yes?
Is there instructions for all this?
There should be instructions on the websites, but I find that they're not as clear. That's why I'm going to try to post the video of this, so that way you guys can reference it. Alright?
But I have a quick question.
Yeah.
On Google Chrome, I can't see the icon.
Use Firefox. I don't like Chrome for Zotero. Firefox is the best. Why? Okay. So we did add documents. You can add documents on pretty much any web page by looking at the website indicator. You can also drag and drop documents like you did with Mendeley. Right? So let's see, final paper. So let's say, let me delete this because I want to drag it in again. Delete documents. Okay, so then there's no document here. So now I'm just going to drag this document from here and put it here, and it's going to automatically pull it out. Some documents, when you drag it, it's not going to automatically pull it. Let's see, test folder. Let's say delete from documents. Sorry, let's delete everything, or empty trash. No, cancel. I want to do it in Zotero. Oh, here. Okay, that's what I meant to do. So let's say you want to drag this document that we had here into Zotero. Come on now. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this the hard way. Okay, so let's say I drag it. It puts it there. Zotero doesn't automatically assume that you want to pull out all the information, so it keeps it as that original name first. But now you can just right click and say retrieve metadata for PDF, and it's going to search through the PDF document and do the exact same thing that Mendeley does, right? And that's what it is there. Another benefit of Zotero is over Mendeley. Zotero pulls out a heck of a lot more information out of a document than Mendeley does. Like you can see, Mendeley has probably, so I'm going to compare. Mendeley has the author name, the paper name, and not much else. You see that? But do you see how much more Zotero actually has? It has the abstract, it tells you where it was published, the pages, the URL. Even if I pulled it up from a document, it finds the URL that thing was originally published and puts it there. Tells me when I access it. It puts out everything in there, including the abstract. Where's the abstract? You should have done the abstract, but didn't. Anyway, but Zotero pulls out a lot more information. So when you cite your paper with Zotero, there's actually a lot more information than what Mendeley puts in there. So I guess the pros and cons for me, and so sometimes, of course, you always find that one document that you don't even know, it doesn't have a Zotero icon or Mendeley. It doesn't. But you want to create that citation, right? So in Zotero, it lets you do that. You can add a book or a book section. Let's say the book doesn't exist on Amazon. There are books like that, right? Or a book section, or a document, or journal article, and to allow you to enter all the entries manually. All right. But that kind of I just recommend that you put a URL or something. For a book is much easier because you always have an ISBN number. So you can enter all the information manually and to put it here, and now you can cite it perfectly in your paper. Which is another thing that Zotero has that Mendeley doesn't have. The fact that you can actually create all your entries from scratch. Alright? So Mendeley is more to they try to tailor it towards like professional like researchers, people that are writing like academic papers and stuff, but for college purposes, sometimes you just don't find those articles that are like professionally written like that, but you need to cite it anyway. So you can do it. Let's see, where is my PowerPoint? You can do it manually. You can add documents by dragging the PDFs in and retrieving the metadata. All right, or you can add it manually, like I just showed you guys. So I showed you how to create the citation, choose the style, add the citation, and add the bibliography. Is that clear in Zotero? What are the benefits of Zotero? You can add virtually anything, which is why I use it over Mendeley, right? And you can actually annotate the files, except that what it does is it'll open it in your regular PDF viewer. So here, I use Foxit Reader. That's my favorite PDF viewer. And now I can actually like do stuff, the same things to it. So I can kind of highlight things, then save it normally and close it. The next time I go here, all my changes are already there. Right? So that's another way of annotating. It's not the same way as Mendeley does it. Mendeley does it within the app, which is I think slightly better, in my head at least. But Zotero also allows you to do that with your native PDF reader. What else does it let you do? And it retrieves more information from your document than Mendeley does. So that's the single best reason why I use this thing over everything else is because you can add anything to your library. And for a student, that's what you need. You don't always have those things written on like the medical journal of something that you want to cite. Sometimes you just have like basic newspapers, YouTube videos, something that you want to put in there. And Zotero will pull it out and make it look nice for you in your citations. Alright? Another thing that works for me really well is the fact that it captures a snapshot of the document. So many times a document, a newspaper article will not exist anymore. Alright? But you want to go back and see what you saw the day you cited it. That snapshot is going to save everything that you saw that day. So you will never lose that information. Alright? Whew, okay, that was a lot of talking. But next week, what do I want you to do? I want you to create a group on Mendeley or Zotero. Whatever one you prefer, right? So obviously download, install, do all that stuff. And add me, that's my email address to the group. So that way I know that you did it. That's number one. Number two, take a term paper that you have already written. Don't write a brand new paper. Take something that you have already written. Alright? Add everything that you cited to that group, the Mendeley or the Zotero group. Is this clear enough so far? So take every single thing that you cited on that paper, add it to your Mendeley or your Zotero, whatever one you prefer to use. Alright? Now recite your paper. That same paper that you've written in the past. Recite it from scratch using Zotero or Mendeley and then add the bibliography. Yes?
What if we can't get access to the document
Why won't you be able to get access to the document?
because it was like a database that subscription?
No, but as long as you don't have to, you don't have to have the full paper. As long as you can see the name of the paper. Remember, in most databases, you click on it and it tells you to read the paper, you have to buy it. You don't need to buy it. Just as long as you can see the name and you can add it there. Any other questions? I saw another hand. So all you have to do, I just want you to show me that you can do this thing so that way I'm confident the next time when you want to write a paper, you're not pulling your hair out trying to cite things. Alright? So create a group and add me. Take a term paper that you have already written. Please don't write anything brand new. That's a waste of time and that's not the point of this exercise. Chris, take something that you have already written. Take all the cites, everything that you cited on that paper, add it to your Zotero or your Mendeley library, then recite the entire paper using this style and see how much better it looks. And do that for the citations. I'll come to you very much. For the citations and the bibliography, submit it to Blackboard. Yes. I'm going to submit that. I'm going to submit the PowerPoint to Blackboard. Any other questions? Yeah, I recorded a video of everything I just did today. So I'm going to try to post that. So in case you miss a lecture, you can watch it again. I don't know if I want to spend an hour listening to my voice talking back and forth.
That's okay, thank you.
So you see why if you miss the lecture today, you pretty much can't do the homework?
Yeah, I'm using Google Graphics and I stick it together.
Let's see. Do you have a minute? Oh, you have this number keypad. That's why I think this is the end of the keyboard.
Oh.
And it's not. Zotero. So the third, fourth, or five, 12. But allow. It's an add-on. So you did the one for Windows, but you also have to do the one for
Because I didn't have
Okay, so I think this assignment is pretty easy, right? This assignment is just an exercise for you to learn how to use Mendeley or Zotero on your own, depending on which one. And you don't have to use both. Pick the one that appeals to your heart personally, and use it. The things that I miss from Mendeley it's just the UI for Mendeley looks cleaner, but Zotero is open source, so people don't really spend that much time making it look shiny, right? Number 2, I can't search within files. Zotero will only search the file names, unlike Mendeley that will search every single word inside every file and take me there. And just the ability to annotate in Mendeley versus going outside to my PDF app and then coming back. But just the ability to add anything from anywhere easily sells me, keeps me with Zotero, and I'll be there forever. And I happen to be one of those people that don't like to pay for things. I've written a lot of open source software and contributed to that community, so the fact that Mendeley is owned by some commercial company that can decide to charge me or change the pricing on me or block my data is something that doesn't appeal to my heart. Just as a general moral conscience type of thing. That's another reason I use Zotero. But pick whatever you want. These are the 2 most popular ones that you would use till forever, right? Pick the one that you like, and I don't care. Because when I see the citation, I only see the citation. I don't see whatever you used to do. Alright? Have you guys heard me talking enough for one day? So you guys, you don't have to sit in class and finish out. You can go home if you want to.
Yeah, I
Yes.
just want to make sure I have an idea of what I'm doing. How do you create the group? I mean, how do you have?
How do you create a group in Zotero? There's this button right here. So you can either add a folder or add a group. And then you add a group, and it should let you invite people. Yes. I'm sorry? No. So there's a vacation budget homework on Blackboard. That was a typo. That was supposed to be citation manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll fix that. Thank you guys. So now let me stop this video.
I have a question.
Yeah, go.
So I my papers that I've done in the past are there. Can I, if I use someone, if I ask a friend,
It doesn't matter.
Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to see your name on the. I don't even care. I'm not even gonna look at it. I just.
Okay. I was just checking.
But put a front page saying this is a submission for this person's name.
Okay.
So that way I don't have to try to figure out who you are by your paper, the name on your paper.
Okay.
So you don't need the paper, you just need.
I need a paper, but I want the exercise for you to cite your paper using either Mendeley or Zotero.
You're going to post.
I'm posting the slides right now.